welcome Allie Barnes in the purpose of your speech.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. The purpose of a speech is very important. Not only will you have a topic that you come up with about whatever your speech is going to be about, but you need to make sure the purpose of your speech is clear, because you don't want your audience walking away from the speech either not knowing what you talked about, not remembering what you talked about, or really unsure of why you came up there and you talked about your speech. There are 4 different purposes that a speech can have. 2 of them to me are similar, so I'm going to combine these 2. But the 4 different types, or the 4 purposes of a speech, are to inform or to educate, to inspire, or to entertain. An informative or an educational speech will be a type of speech where you have researched your topic. You want to inform your audience about something that you have either learned about, something that you're really passionate about, and you want to try to convince them that either they should do the thing that you're talking about, or you want the takeaway message to be, wow, I really learned something tonight. An example of a formative speech could be what I'm doing tonight. I'm informing you on the different purposes of a speech. Another type of informative speech, and more of an educational speech, could be what is anthropology. And you could talk about in your speech what anthropology is, the different subsects in anthropology, and give your audience a good idea at the end that they have a basic knowledge of anthropology. The second type of speech, an inspirational speech, will be to inspire your audience. You want them feeling all good at the end of your speech, like they've really gotten to know you a little bit and you really inspired them to do something, or just your speech alone is inspiring to them. An example of this is you could tell them about possibly how you trained for a half marathon. And you did 3 months of training in this half marathon. You made sure you got all of your miles in, you ate right, your shoes were good, everything was good during your training. But the morning of your half marathon, it rains. Your shoes come untied, you trip. You forget to get water at one station, so you have to walk. So your whole marathon, or half marathon, did not go according to plan. But you finished the half marathon and you completed your goal in it. That's a type of inspirational speech that you can give. When you entertain someone, an entertaining speech is like a story. You come up here, you're not really giving them a whole lot of informative information, or you're not being inspirational. You might be funny in the type of speech that you're telling them. You could talk about clowns or a silly story that you had growing up. It's a type of speech that's going to captivate your audience. It's going to draw them in, and it's going to make them want to listen to you. An entertaining speech, though, does not only have to be funny. It could be a dramatic type of speech, where in the beginning you hook them in right away and they're just on the edge of their seat and they want to know what's coming next. When you're giving a speech, you want to make sure that the purpose of your speech is clear. And there's 2 different ways that you can do this. You can either, in the beginning of your speech, ask them a question. For example, if you're giving an informative or educational speech, you could ask, how many people know what anthropology is? This question will tell your audience, tonight I'm going to talk about anthropology, and I'm going to tell you and I'm going to educate you about what anthropology is. A second way of telling the audience the purpose of your speech is to just come out and tell them what the purpose of your speech is. You could say, tonight I am going to talk about anthropology. When you're giving a speech, it's easy in an informative or an educational speech to tell the audience what your purpose is. In an inspirational speech or an entertaining speech, it's really up to you to make sure that the audience is getting your takeaway message from it. The purpose of your speech is important because you could have a great topic that you're talking about. But like I said in the beginning, if you're not conveying your idea to your audience, your speech isn't going to be that good. You need to make sure when you're writing out your outline of your speech that you have your introduction, your body, your conclusion, you put all your points in your introduction of, or not in your introduction, in your body of what you're going to talk about. But then take a step back and really think, okay, what's my purpose of giving the audience this speech? Is it to inform or educate? Is it to inspire people? Or is it to entertain them? And once you get your purpose down, I guarantee that your speech is probably going to flow a little bit better when you're standing up in front of an audience and telling them about your topic. Thank you.